Hey everyone, welcome back to more Tsukihime. Let's get started. We make our way back out to the second floor lobby. The lobby splits the Tono mansion into two wings. It's like a giant bird in flight, extending its wings far in both directions. Each wing is roughly the size of a small hospital. I vaguely recall that the building is symmetrical, with the same number of rooms on both sides.
シキ様のお部屋はこちらです。
Instead of descending the stairs, Hisui continues along the walkway overlooking the lobby towards the west wing. I guess that means my room is on the second floor of the west wing. The sun has already set outside. Blue carpets line the hallway, extending in either direction. The uniform white walls bring a castle to mind. The maid walks down the hall lit by warm orange lights.
なんかおとぎの国みたいだ。
No filter between brain and mouth here.
シキ様、何かご質問でも？
いや、ただの独り言だから気にしないでくれ。
Hisui gives a slight bow after glancing at me and continues walking again. I don't know what to say. And that's not the first time since returning to the mansion. Floor is made with expensive teak wood. A ceiling that must be at least 3 meters high. I think I can see a sunroom further down the hall. The room Hisui shows me to isn't where you expect a high schooler to live.
俺の部屋ってここ。
はい。ご不満がおありのようでしたら、違うお部屋をご用意させていただきますが。
いや、不満なんてあるわけないけど、その。
It's way too fancy for me.
シキ様。
いいんだ。なんでもない。喜んでこの部屋を使わせてもらうよ。
はい。お部屋は7年前から手を加えていませんので、不自由はないと思います。
Does that mean...
ちょっといいかな。ここ7年前は俺の部屋だったとか。
そう伺っておりますが、違うのですか？
Hisui tilts her head slightly. I feel a little better. So she isn't completely devoid of emotion.
まあ言われてみれば確かに。
It's a nice room though, I like it.
少しは覚えがあるし、きっとそうだったんだろう。
This doesn't feel like my room at all, but I guess that's what happens when you've been gone for 7 years.
けど、やっぱり落ち着かないな。今朝まで4畳半の部屋で暮らしてたからさ、高級ホテルに泊まりに来たみたいだ。
お気持ちはわかりますが、どうかお慣れください。シキ様は今日から遠野家のご長男なのですから。
まあ、そうだね。せめて外見ぐらいは笑われないように頑張ってみるよ。
I set my bag on the desk and stretch. I'm still a bit overwhelmed by everything, but I don't have much choice other than to just get used to it. At the very least, I need to be comfortable enough to relax in my own space.
それと、昨夜のうちに届いたお荷物はすべて運び込みましたが、問題はありませんか？
いや、別にないけど。あ、なんか持ち込んじゃいけないものでもあったとか？
いえ、お荷物が少なすぎるようですから。必要なものがあればご用意いたしますので、どうかお聞かせください。
そっか。 いや、とりあえず足りないものはないよ。もともと荷物は少ないんだ。自分の荷物って言ったら、そのカバンとこのメガネと。
The only things in my bag are my textbooks and a white ribbon I've kept for a long time.
ともかく荷物のことは気にしないでいい。こんな立派な部屋だけで十分だ。
かしこまりました。では1時間後にお呼びに参ります。
1時間後ってもしかして夕食？
はい、それまでどうぞおくつろぎください。
History says devoid of emotion seems to be our usual. But now my problem is how to kill an hour. It's just past 6. If it were yesterday, I would just play with my phone or watch some TV in the living room, but I can't see the mansion having a place for people to get together and wind down.
翡翠、つまらないことを聞くけどさ、この屋敷にテレビとか通信回線とかあるの？
テレビと通信回線ですか？
History narrows her eyes ever so slightly. Even asking the question gives me a headache. Asking about modern luxuries in a decadent old-fashioned mansion like this seems wrong.
今にはありません。西館には娯楽室がありますが、こちらは鍵がかけられています。先日まで逗留なされていた皆様は私物を持ち込まれていましたが、出立される時に荷物はお持ち帰りいただきましたので、残ってはいないと思います。
秋葉が追い出した親戚筋か。逗留って誰がどのくらいしてたんだ？
久我峰様のご長男とそのご家族の皆様が1階に士官の3部屋を、東崎様のご三女とその婚約者の方が2階に士官の角部屋を、木島様のご長男が1階東館の1部屋を。皆様3年ほどお過ごしになられました。あとは確か先代である牧久様の主治医様が屋敷に逗留されていたと聞いています。
3年もか。なあ翡翠、そういうのって逗留って言うんじゃなくて居候って言うんじゃないか？
History doesn't answer. Her position as a housemaid must prevent her from voicing her personal opinions about the guests. Regardless, if they've taken all their belongings with them, I can't expect to find anything I can use. Makihisa hated any kind of modern convenience, so I can't imagine he would have allowed them access to the internet or a TV. Akiya must have taken after our father.
ま、ないからって別に死ぬわけでもないか。
If nothing else, I still have my phone. I take it out of my pocket and check the time. It's silly to think I was actually worried I might not get service here. It may not be much, but I'm relieved to have at least some way of connecting to the internet. I expected to be stuck without one, considering how out of this world this place is. Meanwhile, Hisui is silent. I don't know if it's just her trying to be professional, but Hisui doesn't speak unless it's necessary, or she's asked something. Not being used to having a personal attendant, it's a little unnerving. I like to try and make her smile somehow, but it's not going to be easy.
確か1階の西館の方に書庫があったっけ？暇な時はそこから何か見繕うことにするよ。
History doesn't respond. She's looking in my direction, but her eyes are fixed on the empty space next to me, rather like a cat.
翡翠？
History says nothing. Until she suddenly returns her gaze to me.
姉さんの部屋にならあると思います。
は？
I blurt out without meaning to. Could she mean...
ですからテレビです。以前姉さんの部屋で見かけた記憶がありますから。
History says like she's recalling a memory from long ago.
よかった。 ここでもそれぐらいはあるんだ。ってちょっと待って。姉さんってもしかして琥珀さんのこと？
はい。現在このお屋敷で働かせていただいているものは私と姉さんの二人きりです。
Now that I think about it, they do look a lot alike. History is so different from her cheery sister, I didn't even consider that they might be related.
そっか。あの人なら確かにバラエティ番組を見てそうなキャラクターだ。
I'm surprised you couldn't tell they were related. I stopped short of asking to use it as I feel too embarrassed to go into her room.
ごめん。この話はなかったことにしてくれ。これからここで暮らすんだから、屋敷のルールには従わなくっちゃいけないしね。
I don't think Akiya would ever let me live it down if I spent my first night back lounging in front of a TV. I'll act the perfect little student, someone worthy of the Tono name.
夕食まで部屋にいるから、時間になったら呼びに来てくれ。翡翠だって他にやることあるだろ。
Hisui nods affirmatively and puts her hand on the doorknob. The door opens with a faint squeak. Hisui leaves the room after a small bow. I dine with Akiha. Both Kohaku and Hisui are completely devoted to serving the two of us. Servants aren't allowed to dine at the same table as their masters. It goes without saying, but having grown up with the Arimas, this setup makes me uncomfortable. I've also completely forgotten about table manners. Humans have evolved the ability to remove useless pieces of information from their minds, which means any memories I had of table etiquette are long gone. Every movement I make elicits a raised eyebrow from Akiha. It's nerve-wracking, but it does spice up our mealtime. To be honest, the idea that I'll be doing this every day from now on is disheartening. Dinner ends in silence. I was so desperate to remember my table manners I wasn't even able to come up with any small talk. Akiha seems displeased the entire time. Hisui and Kohaku have just finished taking away our plates when the reckoning comes.
やはり徹底的な再教育が必要なようですね。
She says plainly. The cold, cruel comment reverberates around the dining room.
誰にどのような。
兄さんにふさわしい心構えをです。
I knew it. So that's what she was thinking about while raising her eyebrows at me.
その具体的には。
まずは生活習慣の改善。夜間の外出は当然禁止です。門限は8時とします。
A curfew? Really?
どのような理由であれ、外出の時は私か琥珀、翡翠の許可を取るように。
は。
An 8 p.m. curfew? How old does she think I am? More importantly, I need permission just to leave?
待て待て、それは。
休日の学習スケジュールはこちらで立てておきます。報告によると、兄さんの成績は中の中だそうですね。
Oh boy, we can't have that now, can we?
まったく。相変わらず効率よく手を抜くのだけは得意なようで。
とんでもない。俺はいつだって全力だ。
ですが、この屋敷にいる間は本気を出していただきますから、そのつもりで。兄さんはやればできる人なんですから、お体のことを考慮しても学年3位以内は当然でしょ。
My sister's painfully overestimating me. And it's scary how much she knows about my grades.
他の習い事はもう少し落ち着いてからにしましょうか。それでは兄さん、本題のあれを出してください。
はい。
What does she mean by it?
あれといえばあれです。あるでしょう。兄さんのズボンにも若者の象徴のような汚らわしいあれが。
You're going to need to be more specific, Akiha.
それを隠さずに出しなさいと言っているのです。
She's talking about my cell phone.
いや、ますますわからない。これが上流階級のすることか。一般市民を何だと思ってるんだ、お前は。
ですから、携帯端末を出してください。
That's what I figured.
兄さんだって持っているんでしょ。
なるほど。
I take out my phone from my back pocket. As soon as I place it on the table, Hisui wordlessly takes the phone and gives it to Akiha.
これは没収します。当家ではこの手の電子機器は禁止です。健全、電話ならロビーの備え付けのものを使うように。調べ物がしたいのでしたら、図書室をどうぞ。
Akiha cuts our one-sided conversation short and leaves the dining room. I find myself stunned into silence for the nth time today. I was never super attached to my phone. I mostly used it for texting and to check the news when I had some free time, though like most people, I consider it a basic necessity. It's another reminder of how strict the Tono household really is. I mean, banning phones in this day and age? I return to my room now that the dinner is finished. It's just past 9:30 p.m. I spent about 2 hours in the dining room in the end.
お帰りなさいませ、四季様。ご指示はありませんでしたが、就寝の支度をさせていただきました。
Hisui greets me as soon as I enter my bedroom. I see my bed waiting for me neatly made. She was a step ahead of me, it seems.
うん、ありがとう。
寝巻きはそちらのものをお使いください。着ていらしたお洋服はそちらのカゴに入れ、廊下に出しておいてくだされば助かります。
A wicker basket is placed at the foot of the bed. I assume if I put my dirty clothes in here and place it in the hallway, then Hisui will clean them for me. This is starting to feel even more like some upscale hotel.
何かご質問はございますか？
Hisui stands there, as still as a statue. I have plenty of questions, but it dawns on me that I know very little about Hisui or Kohaku.
あまり関係ない話なんだけど、いいかい？
はい、何でしょう？
翡翠と琥珀さんがここでどんな仕事をしてるのか知りたいんだけど、どうかな？
私が四季様付きで、姉の琥珀は秋葉お嬢様のお世話をさせていただいております。お二人が留守の間は屋敷の管理を任されていますが、それが何か？
お世話って、やっぱりそういうことか。
My shoulders feel heavy. Akiha explained everything like it went without saying, but I'm just a normal high school student. I don't have much interest in being weighed on hand and foot by a girl my own age.
四季様付きってことは、俺専用の使用人ってこと？
はい。何なりと申し付けてください。
Hisui bows deeply. My chest tightens with guilt.
わかった。秋葉のあの言いぶりじゃ、俺を一人にはしないだろうし。そもそも俺の気持ちの問題で君を解雇させるのは良くはないと思う。ありがたくお世話になるけど。
何か特別なご要望でもあるのですか？
そんな大それたことじゃなくて、その四季様っていうのはちょっと。俺はそんな柄じゃないし、正直に白状すると分不相応すぎて首根っこをつかまれた気分になる。
ですが、四季様は私の主人です。
そうは言うけど、俺は今日まで普通に生きてきた身なんだ。帰ってきただけなのに、 同い年ぐらいの子に様付けで呼ばれる生活とかちょっと難しい。
History seems nonplussed.
俺のことは遠野さんとか四季さんでいいよ。堅苦しいのはなしにしたいんだ。こっちも君を翡翠さんって呼ぶからさ。
History, though otherwise expressionless, lowers her eyebrows and bites her lip. Man, I wanted to make things easier for her, but it looks like it may have had the opposite effect.
ですが、あなたは私の雇い主ですから。
俺が雇ってるわけじゃないだろ。
失礼ながら、それは同じことです、四季様。私どもは遠野家に仕える者。ご当主様もご親族の方も、共に尊ぶべき主であることに変わりはありません。ですので、どうか私のことは、翡翠とだけお呼びください。お仕えする方に継承で呼ばれる使用人の心境を察していただければ幸いです。
Hard to argue against that. Her answer really does fit that of a manor servant.
はあ、俺にできないことをやってくれるんだから、ありがたがるのはこっちなんだけど。
Arguing would only serve to trouble her further. I'll refrain from voicing my own opinions on the matter for now.
呼び方、翡翠でいいんだね。
はい。何としてもそのように。
Her please has a bit of a punch to it.
わかった。じゃあそのように。でも、俺に対してあんまり堅苦しいのはなしにしてほしい。お姉さんの琥珀さんにもそう伝えてくれるとありがたい。
はい。四季様がそうおっしゃるのなら。
History lowers her head gracefully. Alright, looks like we got a long ways to go until we can talk casually. But it's a start. History leaves the room after bowing. The moment I'm alone, a wave of exhaustion crashes over me. A lot happened today. My body is crying out for some much-needed rest. I turn out the light and lie on the bed. I can tell I'll sleep like a rock. I try to fight against the sleep creeping in. I'm somehow able to keep my eyes open, but it's a losing battle. No matter how hard I fight, I fall deeper. That's just how the human body is built. I stare at the ceiling, still in the space between consciousness and sleep. Back after 7 years, seeing family again, it still feels like someone else's house.
でも、帰ってきたんだろ、お前。
I say, trying to accept everything. My consciousness slips away as I sink into a deep slumber. A mansion on a high hill, far away from the bustling of the town. Like an island surrounded by a sea of trees. I come to the conclusion the instant my eyes close, it's like a prison. I awake suddenly. Nobody woke me. Nor did I hear a sound. It just happened, seemingly for no reason. I wonder how long it's been since I woke up in the middle of the night. I get up feeling like I've forgotten something. A shiver of unease creeps over me as I exit my room. I start down the hallway in search of a glass of water to slake my thirst. The long moonlit hallway lies before me. The night is totally silent. This all feels so familiar. I must have done exactly this when I was younger. I find myself wandering to the stairs aimlessly, yet not. There, a hidden section of the mansion. The stairs connect not only the first and second floors, but also to an attic by way of a secret passage. It seems even the people living here have long forgotten this place. The room once used for storage shows no trace of anyone having used it in years. Despite being midway through October, it's unseasonably cold tonight. I rummage through the room, hoping to find a blanket. An old cabinet catches my eye. I open each drawer. I find some odds and ends, but little of note. There's nothing worthwhile in the drawers. Even the giant chest I open has only a few scattered stones inside. A badge, a few trinkets, a pair of binoculars, all things a child might collect. Among them, a single thing stands out, different from everything else. Stained bandages sealed in clear plastic case. They're rolled up neatly, but so old they could never be used. There's nothing here. I shut the drawer and start back to my room. Was someone crying, or was that sweat? Upon exiting the room, I realize my cheeks are wet. I wonder, could I have used this place when I was a child? Ah. You realize one day that you don't dream. All you see is your past set on repeat. A tapestry of introspection and rumination. A refrain of what has happened and what will happen through the lens of a lucid dream. You do not dream. I am not here. Shikitono has never known what it means to dream. I do not know you. And so, the story is over. Yet you still continue to dream, unwilling to forget. Like the stars twinkling atop the falling snow. Like the sea roaring amongst the crashing of waves. Like the crumbling moon craving your shadow. Refrain, 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 refrain. Up, there it is again. I hear an unfamiliar voice. My consciousness slowly returns.
朝です。お目覚めの時間です。四季様。
I thought I told you that I didn't want her calling me master. It makes me super uncomfortable. I open my eyes, grab my glasses from the bedside, and put them on. The lines fade instantly. I sit up, trying to shake away the remains of sleep. Where am I?
おはようございます。四季様。
The maid bows.
あ、そうか。遠野の家に戻ってきたんだっけ。
はい。昨日はお疲れだったと存じます。
History stands by the door to my bedroom, her posture perfect like a statue. My mind is still a bit foggy, likely from sleeping in a new place.
四季様。
History calls out to me. I shake my head to wake myself up.
おはよう翡翠。わざわざ起こしてくれてありがとう。
そのようなお言葉は不要です。四季様をお起こしするのが私の役割ですから。
History answers flatly. It's too bad, I think. History would be unstoppable if she had just half the brightness of her sister. Not that I have any right to judge someone's character.
何かご用でしょうか。
History speaks up, perhaps aware of my gaze.
いや、なんでもない。翡翠の顔を見て、ここが遠野の屋敷なんだって実感しただけだよ。
I get out of bed and take a deep breath. The clock says it's a little before 7 a.m. It's a bit earlier than when I usually wake up.
着替えてから下に行く。今じゃなくて食堂に行けばいいのか。
はい、食堂においでください。朝食の支度ができていますので。
わかった。ありがとう。
History bows and leaves the room. I ventured down to the first floor lobby. I've already changed my underclothes and put on my uniform. The dining room is just inside the west wing, mirroring the location of the parlor in the east wing. There's a large room to the left of the hall on the opposite side of the stairs.
おはようございます、四季さん。早速朝食をご用意しますね。
Kohaku had been waiting for me, it seems. Hisui must have told her last night that being called master makes me uncomfortable. It seems Kohaku is a little bit more flexible when it comes to that sort of thing. They really are about as different as two people can be. Kohaku quickly sets the table. Prepared for me is a full traditional Japanese meal. A 1 soup 3 sides set with rice. Except...
しまった。昨日のうちに言っておくべきだった。
もしかして苦手なものが入っていました？四季さん、カブはお嫌いですか？
いえ、好き嫌いはあまりない方だと自負してますけど、なんていうか。
There's a little too much. I've always been a light eater, especially when it comes to breakfast. The more I eat, the worse my heartburn gets, until my appetite is totally gone. Speak for yourself. I will devour any food given to me. I feel pretty good today, so I could probably eat a full bowl of rice, but on bad days, I'll only manage a bite or two.
そうですか。小食だとは伺っておりましたので、これでも控えめにしてみたのですけど、ダメですか？
すみません。事故の後遺症のようなもので、こればかりはどうしようもないというか。でもすごく美味しそうなのはわかります。この朝食は完璧ですね。
I quickly blurt out my honest impression. I don't want to seem ungrateful after Kohaku cooked a wonderful meal for me. None of this is her fault.
とにかくいただきます。残してしまったらごめんなさい。
いえ、お気になさらず。私もこの道のプロですもの。四季さんの適量を測らせていただきますから。では、どうぞ召し上がれ。お口に合わないようでしたら遠慮なく言ってくださいましね。
ごちそうさまでした。大変美味しかったです。
I bring my hands together and express my thanks. Kohaku's breakfast was a feast for the eyes as well as the stomach. It was delicately seasoned with none of the flavors overpowering one another. Each bite served to only whet my appetite more. I'm sure most high school guys would have helped themselves to seconds or thirds.
けどすみません。せっかく用意してくれたのに残してしまって。
Why don't you just prepare for a bento later?
いいんです。先にお話を聞いておかなかった私の失敗ですから。それに十分嬉しゅうございます。四季さん、本当に美味しそうに召し上がってくれるんですもの。この日のために腕を磨いていた甲斐があったというものです。
Kohaku smiles sweetly. I think she's got things wrong. The joy's all mine, getting to see a smile like that.
いけません。もうこんな時間です。どうぞ私にお構いなく今の方に行ってくださいな。あちらで食後のお茶を用意いたしますから。あまり四季さんを独占していますと後が恐ろしゅうございますし。
Kohaku giggles as she continues tidying up. It's already 7:20 a.m., so I should start getting ready to go to school. I thank Kohaku one last time and leave the room. Hisui and Akiya are already in the parlor when I arrive. Akiya is wearing the uniform for Asagami Girls Academy, a prestigious school for young ladies.
よう、おはよう、アキハ。
おはようございます、兄さん。今朝は起床時間が遅かったようですが、まあよしとしましょう。初日につきよく寝つけなかったということにしておきます。
Late? He woke up like before 7 a.m. What time is he supposed to wake up? 6 or 5? Snippy is the first word that comes to mind. It's probably not a good idea to tell her that I actually woke up earlier than usual this morning.
スイ、兄さんに食後の紅茶を。私ももう一杯いただきます。
かしこまりました。四季様、お砂糖はお入れしますか？
ああ、うん。じゃあ一つだけ。
Thus begins an inexplicable morning. Hisui places a cup on the table and returns to her position by the wall. I take a sip of the ruby-colored tea and... Hold on. What is this?
めちゃくちゃうまい。苦いのに甘い。複雑なのに喉越しがすっきりしていて、そもそも香りがこうクリスマスっぽい。
Flabbergasted, I ramble on nonsensically. I didn't care much for the lavishness of the mansion I saw yesterday, but this tea is something else entirely.
今朝はマリアージュのエスプリドノエルですね。紅茶の名店といえばイギリスですが、こちらはフランスの名店です。創業そのものは1850年頃、日本に上陸したのはつい最近。15年ほど前だからメジャーではないものの、品質に問題はありません。クリスマスという表現は曖昧すぎて評価しづらいですけど、不思議とニュアンスは伝わりますね。
Akiya laughs, seemingly having found my reaction amusing.
お値段もお手頃だそうですし、庶民派な兄さんに合わせてみた甲斐がありました。上質の葉には黄金に等しい価値があると勉強になりましたか？
She looks down on me as if I'm the Neanderthal to her sophisticated queen. Even the way she returns her cup to its saucer is refined. I hate to admit it, but she's right. So this is what real tea tastes like. What have I been drinking up until now? I finally understand why all those trading companies sprouted up just to get their hands on this stuff. 10 minutes have passed since I came to the parlor. Akiya and I spend most of the time enjoying our tea. Few words were spoken. Every time our eyes met, we both turned our gazes back to our cups. Honestly, I never felt more awkward. But even so, it wasn't a bad way to spend time. Having abandoned her for so long, seeing Akiya able to pass time peacefully like this fills me with an emotion I can't quite explain. Relief? Is that what this is? Regardless, it makes me happy to see Akiya here in front of me. Just as I'm enjoying things, a strange noise comes from the hall.
大改造大恋愛
Taiga?
乱雑乱暴最後に乱心スタンピードに地獄行き
The sound of someone's horrendously off-tempo humming creeps through the wall.
はーい、グッモーニングトースちゃんたらおはようちゃん
The thing that slams open the door is decked out in an outfit that's just as outrageous as her entrance. A top that doesn't leave much to the imagination, and a tight leather skirt. Her long hair is crudely bound together. She doesn't seem to be wearing makeup, but her lips are strangely captivating. Her reddish blonde hair, combined with the fact that she's taller than me, tells me she's not Japanese. I glance at her unmistakable curves. She does have a great figure. She gives off the impression of a woman, the kind of person that would be more suited to lounging on the beach somewhere instead of standing here in this old mansion. At least, she would if it weren't for a white coat, which strangely suits her.
おはようございます、アラク先生。
Is this a new character?
今日は何のご用でしょう。定期診断は昨日のはずでしたが。
昨日はちょっと乗り気になれなくて
Yeah, I don't remember her from the original.
夕日を見てたらムラっときちゃって調査ほっぽり出して街に飛び出したのよ。まあ率直に言えばサボりなんで今日こそきちんとお仕事したくて朝からやってきたわけ。あ、メイドちゃん、私にも紅茶プリーズ。砂糖は4さじないし5さじ、気分的には6さじみたいな。
The woman in white coat barges into the parlor. Her eyes naturally meet with mine.
あれあれれあれれれれおおむふむむむ
What's wrong with her? She stares at me. After scanning me for some time, I catch the woman smirking at me when...
すごいデッドマストで A 点出まくりツボだわマクベスカッツーのこの屋敷もう殺すとか殺されるとか悲劇に突っ走る気満々じゃない
The woman is doubled over, howling with laughter. All I can do is frown. Who is this person? Akiya called her a doctor, but...
アラク先生、兄さんに紹介をしてもよろしいでしょうか。
Akiya coughs and tries the woman seeing my predicament.
ん？紹介って私のこと？それともしきちゃん？いいわよ、そんな無駄なこと。しきちゃんのことなら脇久くんから聞いてるし。しきちゃんだって私みたいなよそ者の事情なんて興味ないでしょ？つうかそんな解消があるならトウシちゃんに向けてあげろって話。
From Makihisa? Then this woman knew my father?
そうそう、私はもともと気ままなデラシネ、風に漂う砂しの雲みたいな女だったんだけど、牧久くんとはちょっと縁があって、行くところがないならうちで一緒に暮らさないかとかクールに口説かれちゃったわけ。でも残念、牧久くんはちょっとタイプじゃないんであっさり断って今はトウシちゃんのお友達なのかしら。
I look over to Akiya to confirm what I've just been told is true. I don't have the courage to talk to this woman directly.
ええ、アラク先生はお父様の大学時代の後輩です。今は父の友人として私の相談役になってもらっています。
私その呼び方嫌い。はかせ
私のことは親しみと愛情を込めてアラク博士って呼んでくれなきゃ。博士泣いちゃう。
Arak laughs, not looking even the least bit sad. Except, even mid-laughter, I notice that her eyes have never left me since she entered the room, like we're connected by a thread.
どうぞアラク様、お茶が入りました。
This way intervenes. Either unaware or unfazed by our conversation, she serves to calm Arak's energy.
もうメイドちゃんったらほんとメイドの鏡ね。
She's not happy to be interrupted. Arak puts a hold on her hip as she downs her sugar-filled tea in one breath.
おう、ナイスシュガー。糖分が五臓六腑に染み渡るっていうか、子宮とか卵巣にキュンと溶けいっちゃってたまんない。ラブ入ってきた。じゃあ定期診断に行ってきます。大浴場の空調がおかしいんでしょ。分かってる分かってる。ささっとチェックしてついでに4クラスターとか足してみましょう。
She's a big burst of energy, that's for sure. Arak saunters over to the door to the hallway, laughing all the while. She turns to face me, her hand on the doorknob.
よろしくね、しきちゃん。よそ者同士仲良くしましょう。これからいろいろあるでしょうけど、もう本当にどうしようもなくなったらダメ元で私に相談しにいらっしゃい。
The intruder leaves the same way she arrived, humming to herself. An awkward silence pervades the parlor.
なあ、アキハ。
アラク先生については私もよくは知りません。お父様の遺言の関係で屋敷本館への出入りと手入れを一任されている方です。お父様は建築家として重宝をなさっていたとか。ご本人曰く建築業は副業だそうですが。
Akia explains the situation curtly. She answered before I could even ask who the woman was, as if to say she doesn't want me asking any more questions.
失礼いたしますね。アキハ様、そろそろ登校のお時間。おや、何やら緊迫した雰囲気ですね。ははん、朝から無理難題を言って早速四季さんを怯えさせてしまったのですか。
あなたね、早速とは何ですか。早速とは。第一、私は理不尽な決まり事は口にしません。常識的な範囲でのお願いをするだけです。
Kohaku seems amused by Akia's defense. It's only the second day, but I feel like I'm starting to understand their relationship.
それでは私は学校に向かいます。兄さん、昨夜も言いましたが門限は厳守するように。昨夜のニュースはご覧になっていますか。
なってないよ。携帯電話は誰かに取り上げられたからね。理不尽気味に。
そうですか。では明日から朝刊を今に用意させます。早めに起床し一日のニュースに目を通すといいでしょう。
There she goes again. My sarcasm is quickly hurled back into my face by her code-pointed response.
ニュースによると昨夜宗谷駅北口で不老者の遺体が発見されたそうです。栄養失調による凍死とも出血による衰弱死とも報道されています。真相はどうあれ、このところ繁華街の治安は良くないようです。そんな時に出歩いてくだらない事件に巻き込まれては遠野家の恥ですから。学校が終わり次第、日が落ちる前に屋敷に戻ることを心がけてください。
Akia leaves the parlor after reminding me of my curfew. But if she wants me home before the sun sets, that means I'll have to be back by 6. Why even make my curfew 8 o'clock then? The clock in the parlor puts the time at 7:30 a.m. I can make it to school as long as I have 30 minutes to spare, but will Akiha arrive in time? I think I remember Asagami Girls Academy being pretty far away. Huh.
四季さん、四季さん、聞こえますか？そう、あなたです。明葉様の容赦ない仕打ちに打ちひしがれ、絶望に膝を折っているあなたに話しかけています。
I don't like that look. What is she doing? Hidden behind the sofa, she gestures for me to come over to her.
聞こえていますけど、何ですか、琥珀さん。
違います。私は使用人であって使用人ではない曖昧な存在なので、これをあなたにお返しするのです。
Kaku pulls out a cell phone from a sleeve of her kimono. That's my phone that Akiha confiscated yesterday.
いいんですか？
はい。でも明葉様には内緒ですよ。見つからないように注意してくださいね。
And just like that, Kohaku, you are cool.
あと、屋敷内で使うのもお控えください。まあ、電波の通りがあまり良くないので、使いたくても使えないとは思いますが。
琥珀さん。
At least someone in the tonal manner is on my side. I take the phone and quickly slip into the inner pocket of my uniform.
あとはこちらもどうぞ。正門の認証カードです。ブザーを押していただければ私の方でロックを解除しますが、警備室まで行くのにどうしても時間がかかってしまいますので、ご面倒とは存じますが、お急ぎの時はこちらで正門の鍵を開けていただければ助かります。
A key card for the gate. The tonal sure don't slouch when it comes to security.
それでは私は明葉様をお見送りしてきます。後のことは翡翠ちゃんにお任せしますね。
はい。いってらっしゃい、姉さん。
Kaku hurries off after Akiha.
四季様のお時間はよろしいのですか？
ああ、ここから学校まで歩いても30分だからね。今7時半だろ。途中でちょっと走れば間に合うよ。でも気にかけてくれてありがとう、翡翠。
Hisui nods, seemingly satisfied with my explanation.
それでは外までお見送りいたします。
ああ、うん、どうも。
Having a personal maid really is embarrassing. I rise from the sofa in response to Hisui's urging. Disregarding the intruder earlier, my first morning in the mansion after 7 years passed without much issue.